Hello and welcome to this Business Spotlight interview. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Carlos Ramirez from CCI Photonics, which is a biotech company working in the field of rapid detection of infectious diseases. Good morning, how are you?
Hi, Rob. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you so much. I'm not really enjoying the weather of from
No,
today's weather. It's quite awful.
no, it's not good, is it?
And
So,
yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Very, very similar. Yeah, it's a little bit of a storm brewing, isn't it? So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
crack on regardless. Great stuff. So, yeah, to begin with, could you give me a little bit of background on, yourself and the business that you're in?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can have identified, my name is not English, so I'm Mexican. So I come from Mexico City, well, the outskirts of Mexico City. That's where I was born and raised. So later on, I did my undergrad degree on biotechnology engineering, and then I ended up coming to the UK to do my PhD studies. It's interesting journey because I started in Sheffield University, but then many circumstances changed, and I ended up in Lancaster, and where I finished my PhD. So now I've been here in Lancaster for almost 5 years, I guess, and I don't plan to leave it here. So so yeah, and then I started with CCI Photonics, and but I can tell you more about that later on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so how did you, so I mean, you mentioned the CCI Photonics, how did you get involved with that business? And
Oh
did you,
yeah, so
how it started off?
probably yeah. I will tell you a little bit more about. So, CCI Photonics. We are, as you said, we are a biotech startup which currently is focusing only on the rapid detection of infectious diseases. We use our main power, our main core energy technology is artificial intelligence. We are in the on the roller coaster of artificial intelligence, right in the boom of artificial intelligence. CCI Photonics was founded on June this year, on 2023.
Mhm.
However, the CCI Photonics history comes back from my PhD studies. So basically, my PhD thesis was the precursor of this. So it was the background of all of this
Mhm.
was all the development that I did during my PhD.
Okay.
So it started like 4 years ago when we said, okay, this probably has a huge potential to be protected and then exploited. So yeah, Lancaster University was very they supported us
Mhm.
on doing this, and taking it to them to where we are currently. Um, so and then yeah, so that's how we started really, and
Uh-huh.
then it was from my PhD basically. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And you mentioned obviously the influence of AI on the business. So
Yeah.
has that evolved quite considerably in the 4 years since you started, obviously when you're doing your PhD, as the advancements in AI made the business more um, uh, is it being able to evolve the business quicker in that way because the AI intelligence improved so significantly over that time? Or were you doing stuff back then with AI without it really being known? AI being as well known as it is now, I suppose, is the best way of putting it.
Yeah, so AI has been, well, the way I apply it is different now, how we are applying
Mm.
it. Of course, it gave us the baseline of
Hmm.
our current workflow, but this is a field that is constantly changing and
Mm.
always evolving and always um yeah, like you have to update it and try to be relevant and always try to be pioneering on what's new and to keep it relevant. That's the
Hmm.
key on this.
Sure.
So So yeah. It's the way we have been applying AI. It's been very helpful for us, because it's also one of the key uh, objectives of UK government to
Hmm.
empower and to support businesses
Mm.
which are based on AI. So it's been very helpful for us.
Okay, perfect. And just to let people know what it is exactly that your business, your company does. What is it that's, the specialist part of it, the unique part of what you're doing, and why can it be so beneficial in the area that you're looking at?
Absolutely, yeah. So recently we are developing a cost-effective device which can be potentially incorporated into current microbiology diagnostic labs in the NHS setups or private laboratories
Hmm.
that will help the faster detection of them. But also, this device is intended to have another branch of this device which can be used as a point of care diagnostics.
Hmm.
So patients can have a quicker diagnose of what are the main infections that they are having up to date. So it will take up to 15 minutes to
Right.
detect a disease rather than 72 hours or more
Wow.
that currently it takes to detect a
Mm.
disease. So our developments are into the incorporation of our background technology, which comes from my as I told you, from my PhD,
Mhm.
and all this background technology into an actual physical setup, which is
Mm.
also neo rising IP. So we are developing that
Right.
actually, and it's a long journey
Mm.
to develop that. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like so. Just from a completely layman's term, like the 15 minutes from 72 hours means obviously people can get treated quicker, and benefit them, and I guess the NHS in terms of kind of dealing with and the productivity from patient diagnosis and treatment and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, our main focus is to have an impact on sepsis,
Mm.
which is the one kind of infectious disease that is more overwhelming because you cannot
Mm.
see it, and sometimes it just come out of
Yeah.
nowhere. But also other kinds of infections like urinary tract infections, respiratory
Mm.
infections,
Sure.
diabetic foot infections,
Mm.
all sort of infections, and it's
Yeah.
not limited to only one microorganism. So
Mm.
we can detect many microorganisms.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's what that stands. That's why we stand out from others, because we can detect different microorganisms,
Sure.
uh, and even the combination of them. Because other techniques currently only focus on one.
Right.
For example, PCR for COVID.
Yeah.
You and I and the people listening to
Yeah.
us and worldwide people lived the pandemic, and
Mm.
we were so dependent on the PCR tests
Mm.
or the lateral flow tests, which are somewhat inaccurate but helpful, but
Mm.
still like so what does that mean? Like some people were testing positive whereas they were not positive.
Yeah.
uh, so this was focused for only one type of
Mm.
infection, and we can
Sure.
do different ones.
Cool.
Yeah,
Perfect. Okay. Sounds fascinating. And yeah, like I say, anything that can improve speed of diagnosis
yeah,
and anything like that must be, is a massive step forward.
yeah.
So obviously you mentioned you started up in June as a company, as a business. What's that journey been like so far? So, it was incorporated in June and began operating in June. What's
Yeah.
happened since, or maybe before and since then, if
Yeah,
anything?
well, I know a very important aspect of our journey is that we, since the very beginning, my former supervisor, now colleague, uh, Professor Craig Williams from the from Morecambe University Hospitals of Morecambe Bay.
Okay.
He belongs to the NHS, and together with our my other former and main and principal PhD supervisor,
Mm.
Prof. Rehman, Itesham Rehman. He was also like part of this masterminds
Mm.
creation. Together, mainly because of them, we could have access to the NHS partnership with the University of Hospitals of Morecambe Bay,
Mm-hmm.
which is the trust local for Lancaster
Mm-hmm.
and well, the Morecambe Bay
Yeah.
region. And thanks to them, we were able to have this partnership that has allowed us to have a lot of access to samples. Of course, we have our ethical approvals
Mm-hmm.
to get directly from patients where we consent them, but also this partnership with them has allowed us to have the samples that are discarded by them, and of course with previous permission and previous approvals from the NHS, we were able to use these samples
Right.
to prove the concept of this. So
Yeah.
then taking it to whatever it was before CCI Photonics.
Mm.
So and then Lancaster University plays a very important role here because they supported the patent application for technology.
Right.
They here I want to mention Jessica Wenmuth, which is she was our advisor, mentor, our technology transfer officer.
Right.
By the moment, she helped us a lot to search for a lot of opportunities to apply with like pre-accelerator programs
Right.
from Innovate UK. And she was always like pushing and telling you can apply to this, and what the step after was that I had to react and then apply for all these pre-accelerator opportunities.
Right.
So one of these pre-accelerator opportunities was the IQ exploit.
Right.
um, so the IQ exploit is a new Innovate UK funding that gives the pre-spinouts or which are not yet, or some that are already founded or incorporated,
Mm-hmm.
give them the opportunity to explore the market opportunities that you may have, and it's very helpful for businesses that are coming from universities,
Yep.
because so we can span out, and I said they give us it's a brilliant program that that's very good experience that I had over there. And afterwards it was just applying to whatever was coming,
Yeah.
like uh, the support that they provided, because they gave access to um, uh, business panel
Mm.
experts panel where um, they suggested how we can be better.
Yeah.
So that at the end they suggested us to spin out, and that's what we did. So um, we were granted the Innovate UK grant for exploitation of early stage technologies.
Right.
Uh, that's why we were founded on June, because
Mm-hmm.
we got the grant for that period, for being a spin-out company
Mm-hmm.
from Lancaster University.
Right.
So and then we are currently developing the device that I'm telling you,
Mm.
and yeah. So that's the journey. It's been challenging. If I can summarize it, challenging,
Hmm.
exciting,
Yeah,
and marathonical. That's how I will summarize it.
perfect. Perfect. So I guess with a startup and obviously new technology and a new business, what's the vision for the business? What have you got a 5-year vision for what you're
Yeah.
trying to achieve here?
Yeah. So the development of medtech is crazy because it's constantly changing.
Mm,
Uh, because the regulation is somewhat green,
hmm.
like immature, because it's a new field,
Right.
even more with artificial intelligence. So constantly, I think every year, if maybe I'm wrong, but the regulation on in vitro diagnostics, which is the category we fall in,
Yeah.
is changing all every time it's changing
Right.
because it's always it's a gray area that no one knows, like, and so some people are afraid of AI, where are others we are not. So
No.
uh, yeah, so but it's very promising, to be honest, because the normal process for a medical device to be developed is a 3-year process because
Right.
we need to yeah, so we need to find the regulatory approval in order to, I mean, so first the device needs to be prototyped, and then
Mm,
you have to test the prototype, and then after you finish testing the prototype, or your device, your ultimate prototype,
yeah.
then you need to validate it.
Mhm.
So it's a long journey before sending it to market, and this time gap is a killer for most biotech companies that
Yeah.
do diagnosis, because it's just spending, but uh, but it's very promising because we will, hopefully by next year, we will have other mm, another product which is our database, unique database for all the diseases that we were able we are able to detect using our technology. So
Mm,
we will pull this database into and make it available
mm.
to use, which is an important asset for CCI Photonics, so it can generate revenue as well. So because
Okay.
all this 3-year long process is
Sure.
just spending, but it's smart to have to think on ways on how to generate revenue before.
Sure.
So that's how we are trying to do, and also yeah, so that's what we are achieving. So
Mm,
um so yes, in a 5-year, we, well, hopefully at the end of the at this year, we will have this database, we will
mm.
have this our technology integrated into this device that I'm telling you, and we will test it into further and thorough processes and
Right.
revisions, so we can have it ready for regulatory approvals and all the quality assessment
Mm,
regulations, and so and the biggest challenge for the future, as all startups, I think, it will be to keep raising funding.
yeah. Cool.
Like to finish this technology, because it can be not expensive. We've been trying to find ways to make it efficient,
Mm,
and spending the less but with good quality,
mm.
um, on doing this. So yeah, that's the future. I'm very, I mean, it's my baby, like
Yeah. Of course.
I've seen it since as an idea,
Yeah. Yeah.
my PhD, until what we are now. So yeah,
Yeah. No, it sounds yeah. I mean, obviously very exciting when something that you've been working on and something you've created and
yeah,
thought about and taking it to market and going through this process now. Obviously, like I say, exciting, challenging. Sure, there's ups and downs to come, but with the passion that you've got, that goes a long way in terms of achieving what you set out to want to bring to market. So I guess one question kind of what's the in your in the business is in your mind, where does this end up? Does this end up as something that every hospital potentially can, or every medical facility could have available, or is it a mass market product out? Or is it purely for the, within the medical fraternity?
Yeah, so far our vision is to have either selling the device well, our biggest client will be the NHS, of course.
Yeah,
Now that we have, I mean, we have not direct access, but we have contacts.
sure.
During the journey, I've been in contact with procurement people, with integrated care work people,
Mm,
and we know who to ask for, like to check the checklist, like on what do we need to introduce it,
yeah.
you know. But
Mm-hmm.
also like to put it into towards this, and also well, our vision so far is probably a buyout to a big competitor, such
Yeah,
as a big pharma competitor that uses also the diagnostic diseases, um,
sure.
but still being in the play. So the vision will be doing this, but keeping. So I would like to stay there if possible.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, that's our vision today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know tomorrow because
Sure.
it's a changing world, and
Of
it's
course.
constantly moving. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and that's, really interesting, and I wish you all the best in terms of, getting that to market, and creating the vision that you've got for the product. Excuse me, for the product, and the company. So obviously, being a startup, I know you've got a couple of people working for you as well. What qualities, when you bring in people in, what qualities will you be looking for from employees?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because it was a very concern. Well, it was a concern to me. Like, what if I fail finding the best people? So now I can tell you that I always look for in employees that they are proactive,
Hmm.
that they can learn fast,
Yep.
that they of course we always need some training, we always need some reassurance, and show us how to do it. But I like that the employees, or the team that work with me, uh, they do something to that. They do not wait until you tell them what to do. So they
Mm.
have a proactive approach. Of course, there's some decisions that they cannot do on their own, but
Mhm.
the more they can decide, the
Yeah,
better. So they are independent as well.
sure.
So yeah, so probably not that important tasks. So they decide, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna let you know
Mm.
what's
Yeah.
the best, you know, like.
Okay.
So
And do
yeah.
you work? Was at the moment? Is a lot of remote working, or do you have a base? Do you meet on a regular
Yes,
basis?
there's a lot of remote working, because I think well, it's a double blade sword, you know, like it's very it has its advantages, and it's a disadvantages, you know.
Yes.
Currently, yes, we are remotely working, although we have an office space.
Mm.
But I think office, we have weekly meetings. Most of the time is face to face, to
Hmm.
check progress, to check
Yeah.
anything, and because it's better when it's face to face
Yeah.
to check progress.
Sure.
But remote meeting, well, our biological sample assistant, Jessica, Dr. Jessica, she works most of the time at the lab, so it's not. She only has one day, or well, she has flexibility of time
Yeah.
to work from home if anything happens. But she most of the time she is on the lab, because she needs to. process the samples.
Yeah. Sure.
So, but she has one dedicated day a week to work from home. But
Okay.
I mean, if she feels bad, there's always flexibility to say, okay, it doesn't happen, nothing happens, so stay home. And if you don't feel good, just don't
Mm.
work, and nothing happens, you know. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's the way we like to have a. Apart from these qualities from the people that were with me, I also from the beginning I asked them like what were their objectives, like why you wanted to work with an early startup that
Mm.
probably is not as mature as for a big pharma, for example.
Yeah.
And I asked them like, what you want to achieve by working here, and I try to make everything possible so they can achieve it. For example, if there is, I want to be more, I want to be in a conference so I can learn more. Yeah, so then we look for conferences, or
Okay.
so we can thrive on their knowledge,
Yeah.
and it's and yeah, so they can, if their objectives fall within CCI Photonics, good. But if their objectives are to leave CCI Photonics afterwards, it's fine. But I'm making sure they can achieve these objectives.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the most important aspect of it is that I will always try to nurture their mental health and physical health,
Yeah.
because that's what I have learned from this experience, that we don't, well, me as CEO, I don't have to become my own slave,
Yeah.
because that can end up very horrible,
Yeah.
because our health can deteriorate. So you
Mm.
must say no when I mean, it's not, it's okay, it's my baby, it's my dream project. But
Yeah.
if I'm not okay mentally and physically, okay,
Mm.
then nothing is gonna be okay. Despite
Yeah.
we have more directors, but I'm leading the company, and the same for the employees. So I always ask them, "Are you okay? Are you feeling good? Is there something that we can do better so you can feel better?"
Okay.
Because it's important that they have this positive, so they can be productive as well.
Yeah, yeah, sure. No, no, really, yeah, really interesting to hear that because I think it's, an absolutely vital part of, like you say, if people are feeling good mentally and physically, then they're going to be more productive and they're going to be, working harder and more efficiently, really, aren't they? And
Exactly. Yeah.
everyone has struggles, and it's great to have that kind of culture that allows people to be,
Yeah.
try and be open and honest and allow you to help them at a good point rather than waiting to it becoming a critical point, right? So it's yeah,
Yeah.
really, really good to hear that. Okay, perfect. So you kind of mentioned a little bit there about being a business owner and what do you think your biggest learning has been so far in that journey?
I would say that it's to be efficient. Like
Okay.
in, I've learned like how can I be more efficient in many things, because as an
Mm.
owner, I have, and as a startup, I have to be everywhere
Yeah.
all at once. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's very important to be efficient.
Yeah. Of
Like, and I'm still learning like how can I do better, like
course.
how can I use current technology to be more efficient.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
And kind of similar vein, but in terms of what's your best advice that you would be giving to someone, a younger person starting up in their own business?
To not, like, the most important, the most important thing will be to not overwork, not burn out yourself.
Yeah.
Despite it's your passion, I understand that, because I like it, but it's
Mm.
more important to, I think that it's the most important attribute to
Mm.
care of the mental health, like to think of our own health.
Yeah.
Like there's If you're okay in health, everything will be running smoothly. Because if you got the passion on it, then just go. I mean, if
Mm.
you're healthy, everything will run smoothly.
Yeah,
Probably because it's a roller coaster, because it's always up, downs, up, downs, up, downs.
yeah, yeah.
But we are the primary machinery and the power of leading a new startup. So I would say that's the most important thing to do.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, absolutely. Maintaining a healthy balance of work and like outside work, you know,
Yeah,
whatever it is you need to do to keep that balance is vital. Like I say, you meet a lot of business owners that, you know, the business consumes them a little bit, and obviously they end up, like you say, mentioned earlier on, about burning out and just not put, you know, and they just they don't enjoy what they're doing anymore, which is a shame, because obviously they've started a business in something that they clearly care a lot about, and you know,
yeah,
it's trying to maintain that balance, you know, from day one could be a really great benefit for
yeah,
the business journey, for sure. Perfect.
yeah. I'm probably seeking for support with your team,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, asking for help is definitely a
yeah,
big, yeah. I think again, some business owners maybe feel that it's
yeah,
not their place to burden but yeah, the old adage of problem shared and all that kind of thing
yeah,
can make a big
yeah.
difference in terms of helping everyone out in the team, for sure. And then finally, in terms of questions, what inspires you, or where do you feel the inspiration came from? What you're doing now, where did that come from?
Wow, yeah, the inspiration is from multiple ways or from multiple sources. So first, my wife, my wife, she's a very hard worker, and she's very intelligent. She's very clever. So I always try to uh, think of like she's my role model, as well.
Okay, nice.
Also, my friends. I always have said that my friends are smarter than me. So I'm very honored that I've met them, because uh, they are very clever and I always been learning from them.
Okay.
And this is probably more indirect.
Mm,
Uh, well, of course, my Prof Craig, Prof Raymond are my they are so clever as well, and
yeah.
they are so full of experiences, and I was, oh, that's very
Mm,
cool. Like I want to learn from them, and every time they tell something, I want to learn from them. And the indirect source will be like my the current people from Mexico that I listen to podcasts to,
okay.
that I've been listening from since my PhD.
Yeah.
Uh, like they tell their stories of success. There's many peoples from Mexico living overseas,
Yeah.
living not in Mexico, that or in Mexico as well. One of my
Mm,
friends, which Diana, she's an entrepreneur in Mexico, and she's very successful as well.
okay.
But like this, uh, maybe you can call them influencers, but probably not influencers. I don't
Mm,
know, but they tell about the story of success, how they smash it,
mm,
and I say, like, yeah, it's possible, like. And I was like feeling it down during my thesis, like, and then listening to these stories, like, oh yes, I can do it. And it was also like another boost uh, to the engine of finishing.
yeah.
And of course my parents, yeah, like my parents,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. A wide range of inspirational people around you, which is always, it's
Yeah.
great to have a team of people that you can draw on, you know, throughout your journey. And yeah, no, fantastic. Really good. Really good. So finally, just so if people want to find out more about what, you know, what the business is doing and what it's trying to achieve, where's the best place to get that kind of information?
Yeah, so sorry, can you, because there was a little bit of lag,
Oh,
can you?
okay. So yeah, where if people are looking to find out more about what your business is, looking to achieve
Oh
and
yeah, yes.
company,
So
where can
we
you get that
currently,
from?
yeah, so sorry, yeah, currently we have our webpage, which is cciphotonics.com.
Yep.
That's the webpage. We've been we will update it um, we will try to update it constantly.
Yeah.
Also, our LinkedIn page, where hopefully we'll soon have someone that can manage it, because there's sometimes no time
Mm.
uh, we are few people and there's no time
Yeah.
for anything. But I know it's important. But yeah, there absolutely we can find more information. So
Sure.
we are, as I told you, we got the Innovate UK grant. We are currently applying for more grants, and
Right.
we will soon seek we will be pitching for investment
Right.
for
Okay.
seed investment. So yes, there will be the news.
Mm.
So hopefully everything will run smoothly.
Yeah. Cool. Perfect. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Great. Well, thank you so much for today. I've been really interested to hear about how you've with the business you're creating and how that's come about and the fruit. And I wish you all the best in delivering on the vision that you've got for it. So yeah, thank you once again, and good to meet you. Okay.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and have
No
a
problem.
lovely day. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.